Passing of a local visionary, a look at his legacy. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 11.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Dwayne Lindo. Our top story tonight, a Venice couple is warning others after they had to evacuate their condo due to elevated levels of radon. That's naturally occurring gas that can cause cancer. Tony and Judy Terlenko says when they got the results, they immediately put the tenants renting their condo up in a hotel and informed their homeowners association. The association hired a company to do its own testing and came up with similar results. The unit in the South Preserve of Waterside Village condominiums off Jacaranda Boulevard was found to be well over the level considered safe by the Environmental Protection Agency. Now, the problem lies in who is responsible for the mitigation of the unit. The Terlenkos, the tenants, or the HOA. All three parties have hired lawyers. According to the Florida Department of Health, 1 in 5 homes in Florida has elevated radon levels. The search continues tonight for a missing Lakewood Ranch man who has been missing for nearly a week. Jimmy Butler was last seen on St. Pete Beach last Saturday. Jimmy's girlfriend, Katie Ayers, says after they had a few drinks at a nearby club, they drove home separately with Jimmy riding his white Honda. Now, the family has filed a missing persons report with the Pinellas County Sheriffs, even skipping the Thanksgiving holiday to focus on the search.
It's not a feeling you can describe. This is not fun, especially at this time of year. And when you have children involved, no, this isn't fun.
It's highly emotional, highly draining. It's surreal. I keep saying it's surreal. It's the only word. I've gotten 4 hours sleep at a chunk at a time, and that's it. That's the longest I could sleep. I wake up and I have to see if there's a tip, if there's something going on, or I just can't sleep.
The family continued the search early this morning with the help of local volunteers and cadaver dogs. The Suncoast is mourning local visionary and entrepreneur Dr. Murray Klauber, better known as Murph. According to the Herald Tribune, Klauber died Thursday at his home on Longboat, just a few steps from his beloved Colony Beach and Tennis Resort. Murph bought the Colony in the 1970s and raised his family just a mile down the road. In a previous interview ABC 7 did back in July, Murph's son, Michael Klauber, tells us about his father's accomplishment with the Colony.
His dream was to build the first all-suite hotel in the world, or at least the U.S., which he ultimately did. I think for me, the Colony was the start of the discovery of the magical place that Longboat Key is today.
Klauber was surrounded by his wife, Sue Bassett Klauber, and 4 generations of family members. He was 91 years old. Small Business Saturday is always a big boost for local businesses on the Suncoast. But this year, between red tide and the ongoing construction of the city of Venice, is appreciating the advantage now more than ever.
That experience kind of gets people out and gets them downtown shopping, walking the avenues of our beautiful city, and meeting shop owners one-on-one where maybe sometimes they don't get a chance to do that.
Missed out on local shopping today? There is still plenty of time to do some holiday shopping locally and get some great deals. In 2 days, you can also shop online at local retails and cash in on deals for Cyber Monday. Today was also the big day for poinsettia industry here on the Suncoast. Dozens kicking off their holiday decorating by shopping at a very well-known nursery in Bradenton. Orban's Nursery had acres and acres of colorful plants on display and for sale, including nearly 200,000 poinsettias. Hundreds of people came out to this once-a-year open house to enjoy the beauty of the property and to pick up some plants for the holidays. Orban's Nursery is a wholesaler that provides poinsettias for businesses like Publix.
It's definitely fun, and we like to see, everyone comes out and gets to see something that they've never seen. 14 acres of red poinsettias is definitely a breathtaking view, so we enjoy it, and we like to hear what everyone has to say about it too.
Orban's Nursery has been in business for around 100 years. They've been hosting this open house now for nearly 30 years. Now to an update on a controversial new gated community in Venice. The contested Murphy Oaks subdivision planned next door to Foxlea Farm is up for consideration again. The Venice City Council will hear a rezone petition for the property Tuesday. It's one of the 2 public hearings scheduled on the matter. The other will be on a conditional use permit that will allow the community to be gated. In October, the Planning Commission unanimously gave its recommendation for approval of the 105 units to be built. Despite the concessions, Foxlea Farm, which does horse shows, and the Coalition of Central Venice still oppose the project. They say too many homes will be forced into inadequate space on the property. Tonight marked another successful year for the Venice Holiday Parade, a tradition they've been doing now for 40 years. Hundreds packed the sidewalks surrounding the parade's route. As dozens of floats went by, local students strutted their stuff down the street while floats and vehicles drove by lit up for the holidays. ABC 7 was also there to show a little love and get help from everyone, that festive spirit. Now let's head to Josh Stone in for Wendy Ross tonight for our first check on our first alert weather.
All right, Dwayne. Yeah, it was a beautiful night to check out that parade in Venice. And right now it's still beautiful with temperatures in the lower 70s across the board here along the Sun Coast. But with the dew points pretty close to the temperatures, it wouldn't be surprising to see some areas of patchy fog develop in the overnight. So look out for that. If you're going to be out and about and driving around, there could be some limited visibilities on the road. Now, we're going to have a few clouds kind of moving on by for tonight, so we're calling for partly to mostly cloudy skies for this evening. And I think we're going to remain dry, as you can see this on the radar. Nothing to show you here, but once again, the story for the overnight will really be the areas of patchy fog. So keep that in mind if you're going to be on the roads later on this evening. Our low tonight, actually this will be tomorrow morning, maybe around 5 or 6 in the morning, about 65 degrees. That will be above the average low of 58. And again, patchy fog will be the story and not much of a wind. We have light winds for this evening. Dwayne?
Josh, thank you. This busy holiday shopping weekend has been marred by violence. Gunshots fired in Alabama, New Jersey, and Florida. And 2 men stabbed in Syracuse, New York. Here's Chuck Severson with the latest on all this violence.
No justice! No peace!
Protesters gathered at the River Chase Galleria Mall in Alabama on Saturday, demanding justice after police shot and killed 21-year-old Amantic Fitzgerald Bradford. Police say 2 people got into a fight Thursday night, which led to gunfire.
We've got officers on the scene. There has been shots fired.
But authorities now say Bradford was not the one who fired the shots that struck an 18-year-old male and a 12-year-old girl who was just a bystander. Investigators now believe at least one gunman in that case is still on the loose. But that shooting is far from the only violence that has plagued this holiday shopping weekend. Police say a Florida woman was shot and killed inside an Ocala Walmart following a domestic dispute. Employees called 911 and tried to intervene.
Suspect is a 55-year-old black male. He was located with a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
In South Carolina, authorities locking down a mall following a shooting in the parking lot, the victims suffering non-life-threatening injuries. In Syracuse, New York, Black Friday shoppers evacuated a Macy's store after 2 men got into a violent argument. One ended up stabbed in the abdomen, the other in the back. And in northern New Jersey, panicked shoppers could be seen running for their lives after shots rang out at the Mills at Jersey Gardens. In that incident, 1 man was shot in the wrist. The suspect in that shooting still unaccounted for. Chuck Severson, ABC News, New York.
A humanitarian crisis is mounting on the U.S.-Mexico border. That's the word from the mayor of Tijuana, as nearly 5,000 Central American migrants continue arriving in his city. Tonight, President Trump taking to Twitter to address the caravan, saying, quote, migrants at the southern border will not be allowed into the United States until their claims are individually approved in court. We only will allow those who come into our country legally. Other than that, our very strong policy is catch and detain. No releasing into the U.S. All will stay in Mexico. If for any reason it becomes necessary, we will close our southern border. There is no way that the United States will, after decades of abuse, put up with this costly and dangerous situation anymore. The Trump administration has released a new report on climate change. The 1,600-page report painting a dire picture. If nothing is done, the grim report comes at a critical time as the deadliest wildfire in California state history still smolder. Among the report's predictions and worst-case scenarios, America's GDP dropping by 10% by the end of the century, hundreds of billions of dollars lost. As for the Southeast, stronger hurricanes and more frequent flooding. The Midwest, agricultural catastrophe, extreme heat, destroying crops, and in the West, increased fire danger. 13 federal agencies are now asking the administration to take urgent action against the dire threats. That action includes reducing fossil fuel and greenhouse gas emissions. Still to come here on ABC 7, the investigation after a Minnesota home was destroyed in a ball of fire. Plus, the hunt for answers after an out-of-control ferry slams into a dock of onlookers.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now before it's too late.
I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
Pets bring so much joy to our lives. They're loyal, they're protective, and smart. Yet as smart as our pets might be, they can't advocate for themselves, especially in the event of a natural disaster. During Hurricane Harvey, many families were separated from their pets. That's why it's important your pet is part of your family's disaster preparedness plan. Talk to your veterinarian and visit banfieldfoundation.org/disaster. Don't save it for a rainy day.
Dear parents, it's time for a pop quiz. What's the best kind of play for kids? Play that makes us think? Or helps us pretend? Or teaches us rules? Or to be creative? Actually, every kind of play is important because different kinds of play give us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, class dismissed. Now go play.
Introducing the ABC 7 First Alert Weather Tracker. This all-new mobile weather lab is just one more way. The team you trust is keeping you ahead of the storms. The ABC 7 First Alert Weather Tracker, sponsored by Mr. Sparky, America's on-time electrician. Download the all-new ABC 7 First Alert Weather app now.
Welcome back. Overseas, tear gas and clouds of smoke billowed from the heart of Paris as thousands of people took to the streets earlier today. Here's a look at the scene tonight after most of the protesters went home. Debris littered the streets as law enforcement and city officials continued to stand guard. This was the scene earlier. Protesters set up barricades and set them up on fire while police responded with tear gas and a water cannon. Officials say 42 people have been arrested in the protests like this around the country. An investigation is now underway tonight after a home in St. Paul, Minnesota was destroyed in a ball of fire. The whole thing was captured on surveillance camera. Just watch the buildings on fire at the far end of the street. The explosion sending debris up in the air in a big ball of fire. The incident happened Friday morning. Officials say a man in his 60s was found inside of what remained of the house. He was taken to an area hospital and is expected to recover. Neighbors and others describe what they heard.
I just woke up. My girlfriend just got out of bed. She went to go make food, and next thing you know, the whole house started shaking. Her brother was still sleeping, and it actually woke him up out of bed. And we all were like, what was that?
We could smell like a little bit of gas and a little bit of wood burning and stuff like that. But it didn't seem like it was continuous. It was just like boom, and it happened, and then it was over with.
Officials suspect the blast was caused by a natural gas line, but they're still investigating. Fire crews are determining the extent of the damage. The entire block where the house was located has been condemned, displacing at least 11 people. Now to the frightening moments for passengers on board a Golden Gate ferry and those waiting at the dock. An onlooker capturing this cell phone video out of the out-of-control ferry boat as it came closer to the terminal. You see it crash into a concrete dock. Part of the vessel was also damaged. More than 50 people were on board the MS San Francisco. 2 people suffered minor injuries, and passengers on board say they had no warning of the impending impact.
There's nothing over the intercom, and you would think that they would have honked a horn or anything.
The vessels are inspected frequently by the U.S. Coast Guard, so there is a lot of oversight.
Investigators are wondering what went wrong, interviewing the captain and crew and conducting drug and alcohol testing. The Coast Guard also looking to the computer system to determine just how fast that boat was going. More than 6 weeks after Hurricane Michael hit Florida's Panhandle, a half-dozen F-22 Raptor stealth fighter jets have arrived at Eglin Air Force Base as units begin their operational transition. The Category 4 hurricane heavily damaged Tyndall Air Force Base, while Eglin, some 70 miles to the west, was spared damage. Still hard to believe all that damage Hurricane Michael caused. Glad hurricane season's over and we're getting into fall and nicer weather.
I know, and almost the end of hurricane season, which is November 30th, and also happens to be our chief meteorologist Bob Harrigan's birthday. Kind of ironic, right?
Yeah, kind of funny there.
But you know, Michael was Category 4 officially. It could have been a lot worse if it was Category 5 anyway. So thank goodness hurricane season is about to end, and no hurricanes in our forecast. Let's check it out as far as our day today. We had a beautiful day on our Saturday. A few clouds, then it kind of thinned out a little bit, and then the clouds returned as we went through this Saturday evening. And for tonight, we are calling for mostly cloudy skies. Nothing to show you on the radar. It is quiet at this hour, and it will remain quiet. But one thing to point out is that our temperatures are cooling now. Right now, it's 73 degrees here in downtown Sarasota, but notice the dew point, which shows us how much moisture there is in the atmosphere, is at 72. When you have the temperature close to the dew point, like most of the Suncoast is at this time, well, we could have issues with dense fog developing in the overnight. So keep that in mind if you're going to be out and about later on this evening or early tomorrow morning. There could be areas of limited visibility on the roadways, so if you run into that, just slow it down. We are going to have a warmer than normal evening. We have a light wind, but it's coming out of the west. And anytime we have a westerly wind, well, we have warmer conditions, especially at night, because the water, it takes a little bit longer for it to cool down. Unlike the land cools down faster than the water does. So if we have more of an easterly wind, well, cooler air would be over the land and we would have cooler temperatures. But for tonight, we have a westerly wind, and since the water is going to be warm, at least warmer than the land in the overnight hours, our temperatures will be above our average low, which should be about 58 degrees at this time of the year. Speaking of averages, well, we topped out at 81 today, and the average is 77 for a high. As far as rain goes, no rain to talk about today, and we're nearing the 10-inch mark of being down, so we really need some rainfall. It looks like that will be in our forecast. Another sunny day for us tomorrow, then a front's going to come in here to bring us some rainfall on Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and into Tuesday. And then it looks like in the wake of this cold front, excuse me, there could be some excuse me, some dry live television. Isn't this fun? Drier. Oh man. Here we go. Let me clear my throat. Drier air that will come in and then cool us, actually, because we have a northerly wind behind the cold front that's come in, and we could be having temperatures for highs in the 60s, and that's about it. So that's well below the average of 77. Also, we're monitoring a couple of systems here. One here in the northeast produced some very heavy rain around areas of northern Virginia and Washington, D.C., now wrapping up through Philadelphia and New York City. But another system in the Midwest, oh boy, this is producing heavy snow in the Rocky Mountains, and this could get really cranking by tomorrow. All sorts of winter weather advisories, watches, and warnings are out for the plains and areas around I-70, I-80, and accumulating snow could take place, maybe up to 6 to 12 inches of snow in Chicago. So if you're flying in that direction, there could be issues if you're heading up there for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So breaking down the forecast again, mostly sunny for Monday, for our Sunday, and then as we edge into Tuesday, looks like this cold front's going to come in here and produce some rainfall. As we get into our Wednesday, things wrap up, but lows to highs only topping out in the 60s, and that's about it by mid next week. Back to you, Dwayne.
Josh, thank you. And here in Florida, we certainly don't need to worry too much about snow, but for those planning on heading back north, driving in the colder months can bring on its own set of challenges. Kim Hutcherson shares some great tips on keeping yourself safe on those wintry roads.
The days are getting shorter and the weather's getting colder, making driving conditions a little trickier. With all the holiday travel you're sure to be doing, it's important to make sure you have the right emergency supplies in your car.
The most important items would be to have anything that's going to keep you warm. Some gloves, wool socks, some hand warmers.
Blankets are great to have on hand, and they can do more than just keep you warm.
But if it's really cold, you can insulate your car, put them in your windows. It helps prevent the cold air from getting in.
Make sure you have a cell phone charger and a flashlight with extra batteries. Cold weather maintenance is also important. AAA has a list of services to ensure your car is in good running order when temperatures drop. Make sure the battery is in good condition and clear of corrosion. Check your tire treads and install snow tires where needed. Confirm that all lights and signals work, and of course, verify that brakes are in great working order. Take care of your car and it will take care of you. It can mean the difference between life and death while on the road. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Your winning lotto numbers are straight ahead. Stay with us.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
B, console her.
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend.
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
One week after Sarasota's very own Crystal Classic Sand Sculpture Competition, the Florida Keys are enjoying their own international sand art competition. This weekend, 8 leading sand sculptors from several countries vied for top honors in the International Sand Art Competition in Key West. About 9 tons of sand to use in their large-scale creations. They were required to craft their sculptures out of just sand and water without using any electric tools, molds, or glue. Sculptors from as far away as the Czech Republic, Singapore, and Ireland competed, along with Canadian and U.S. entrants. As we mentioned, pretty comparable to our Crystal Classic here in Sarasota, where we have people from all over the world come here, enjoy the nice weather in Sarasota, and watch the nice creations.
It really is amazing to see that, though. I mean, just the skill and craftsmanship to put that together.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, love having you with us. Join us tomorrow, 6:30.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do. Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000. Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
Women have shed their blood in defense of America since the dawn of the Republic.
Nobody wants to die for their country, but a lot of people are willing to die for their buddy.
Their sacrifices are profound.
I blame myself because I think, what if I was there?
And their noble accomplishments largely ignored.
The ultimate cost could be our lives.
Unsung Heroes, the story of America's female patriots.
What can a father do clear on the other side of the world?
Sunday at 10 on ABC 7.
Being empowered starts with getting informed, looking closer. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. But many of us don't know there are different types of breast cancer with different characteristics. That was me. Learning about the specifics of my diagnosis gave me the confidence to make informed treatment decisions with my doctor. This meant everything to me and my family. So take another look. Ask another question. Learn more at notonetype.org.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.